we've been talking about the cooperation at the summit, but already there seems like there's a bit of a stink between certainly the federal and New South Wales government.
That's right. We already have our first industrial relations stoush out of the Jobs Summit. The New South Wales government is angry that just as they threatened the rail union they were going to rip up their enterprise agreement in a bid to stop strikes that have dragged on for months, Industrial Relations Minister Tony Burke wrote to Fair Work Commission President Iain saying the Commission should not terminate enterprise bargaining agreements on the request of employers. Only on Thursday, New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet told us he was prepared to rip up the current enterprise agreement and apply to the Fair Work Commission to stop the strikes, and he hoped the Commission would grant his wishes. You're not the first New South Wales government to cop trouble from the rail union. So what is it about this dispute that you can't fix it?
Well, because they won't agree to conditions in relation to the wage cap that's in place. We've made a number of concessions, and what I've said today is that the EA will be put to the union. They'll need to put that to their members, and they need to vote on it.
And what happens if that gets voted down?
Well, then, if that gets voted down, then we will seek to terminate the current agreement in the Fair Work Commission.
And then what happens in terms of the dispute?
Well, we would seek to have this resolved independently through the Fair Work Commission, and we think that is a fair and reasonable approach.
How long could that drag on for?
Well, as long as there's no industrial action, then it doesn't matter if it takes time. And I think the union should. What the union.
And that's what would occur. There'd be an order for no industrial.
Well, we
action.
would seek that.
Would you get it?
Well, that's a matter for the courts, Andrew.
So back to this Tony Burke letter. The New South Wales Industrial Relations Minister Damien Tudorhope described the letter yesterday to me as disgraceful interference. The letter to the Fair Work Commission from the IR Minister says that a commitment from the Jobs Summit was that the government would, quote, seek to legislate to ensure the process for enterprise agreement termination is fit for purpose and fair. It goes on, the government's reforms will be aimed at limiting the circumstances in which employers can apply unilaterally to the Commission for termination of an agreement, where termination would result in reducing employees' entitlements. But Burke claims this has nothing to do with the Rail, Tram and Bus Union. He claims he had said a while ago the government planned to change the law around this, and it was inspired by the fact tugboat operators were about to have their wages reduced.